This is a Pubcast Shot. I'm John Loomer. So, what's the role of remarketing now? Let's go. Okay, let's start from the top, from the very beginning. What is remarketing? Remarketing is explicitly targeting people who are connected to your business. Normally, that would be website visitors, your customer list. It also includes things like engagement with your content on Facebook or Instagram. So you're targeting custom audiences of these people because you believe they're most likely to perform the action that you want. The question isn't whether it's valuable to reach these people. The question is, should we still explicitly target them? Now, a quick history lesson. Remarketing first became a thing way back in 2012 on Facebook. That's when we were first able to target our customer list. So that was a huge deal at the time because it suddenly gave us control over who was seeing our ads and some of the most valuable people. In 2013, we were given FBX, which was the ability to do website remarketing using a third-party partner. And then in 2014, Meta, which was then Facebook, allowed us to do it directly through the main advertising interface, targeting our website visitors. It was very valuable then. It was also very cheap then, and that's probably most important. So for me, the majority of my strategy was some form of remarketing. Now, my remarketing audiences were also quite large, which helped, but I would do a little bit of everything, right? I would do general remarketing. So I'd target all of my website visitors, my entire email list, those who were engaging with my Facebook page, just because those are the people I thought were most important. Generally, let's focus on them to get them to perform an action. I also did a lot of micro remarketing, where it's like you visited this specific page, you're going to get this ad. And it was really effective. And honestly, that's kind of what I was known for quite some time. And it took me some time to actually accept the fact that maybe we shouldn't be doing that anymore. So now, what is the landscape? Well, look, algorithmic targeting, much smarter now. It's not perfect, but it's smarter. And I think once audience segments became available, that was a light bulb moment for me. Because then it helped us understand that remarketing is prioritized by default, even when you're targeting broadly. So it's already happening. It's also much, much more expensive to reach people now. And that's a critical element of this. So let's talk about the potential problems with remarketing. First, I think probably most importantly, is that the results that come from it are misleading and often inflated. Advertisers swear by remarketing because of the amazing surface level results. But so many of those results come from view-through conversions, where your ad was surfaced to them, they may not have seen it, and they converted anyway because they're already visiting your website, or they got an email from you and they made that purchase or that conversion, whatever it is. So Meta takes credit because they were shown the ad before that conversion happens. Additionally, it's not incremental. So these are the easiest conversions, right? It's the low-hanging fruit. It's if you got to target anybody, let's target them because they're likely to perform the action that we want. But we have to understand that many of these people would have converted without your ads. So it may appear highly profitable on the surface, but it may not actually add much more profit. Like these people would have converted anyway because they visit your website already. They get your emails already. They follow you on all these various social channels. And finally, it's not scalable. So these are often very small audiences, depending on the brand. If you've got a remarketing campaign that appears to be working really well, you just can't keep increasing the budget, unlike going broad or anything with a larger audience to work with. And part of not being scalable is you'll get amazing results for a very short period of time, and then it burns out because you've reached everybody who's likely to perform the action that you want. So what are my recommendations? Well, some would say to eliminate remarketing entirely because it happens naturally now. Now, I don't quite go that far. If you have a reasonable budget, and man, there's various levels of reasonable depending on what you're trying to accomplish, especially $100 and up per day. It absolutely should not be your central strategy. And maybe you could even make the argument that it shouldn't be your central strategy, even if you're spending $50 per day. There's usually no need for general remarketing now, which again would be all of the people who visit your website are on your email list, et cetera, because Meta's already prioritizing those people. So when might you use this? I actually just used it recently for high dollar purchases. And what I did was I targeted the exact people who are also getting emails from me promoting this high dollar product. In this case, I didn't want everyone to see it. I don't consider everyone a prospective customer. And I really didn't want people to sign up for it who weren't a good fit. So in this case, I ended up with like a 27x return on ad spend. But number one, not scalable. Number two, I understand it's misleading because half of those conversions were view through, would have happened anyway, potentially. All I was trying to do was have an ad to make my email more effective, more than anything. So that's why I did it. But if you use remarketing, just know that the results aren't what they seem. It can still be beneficial. It can still be helpful to a point, but the surface level stats are not representative of the full impact. I encourage you to read more about this topic. I wrote an article about all the tricks that advertisers use, sometimes knowingly, sometimes not, to inflate their conversion results. Go to johnloomer.com/tricks to read how to uncover the truth behind conversion results. Do you have a podcast? Are you looking for guests? Do you think that, I don't know, maybe I would be a good guest for your show? We should talk. So while I don't have guests on my show these days, because really this is about streamlining this show as much as possible to make it as easy as I can, one of my favorite things is to be a guest on other people's show. My ideal situation isn't the most famous, most popular, although that would be nice too. It's the host is someone who has already been reading my stuff, has been listening to the pubcast, maybe watching my videos, and so fully aware of my history, so it's not a matter of me introducing myself to you again. Because a lot of times when we talk about interviewing marketers, there's an assumption about the certain things that people believe. And I don't think I'm your typical marketer. I'm a bit of an accidental marketer that does things a little bit differently. If you kind of resonate with that and you think I'd be good for your show, reach out. Let's talk. Maybe it's a fit, maybe not. Send me an email at me@johnloomer.com. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time, do awesome things. I'm out.